What is up, everybody? Welcome to Gates Around Discussion Vidcast series. I'm your executive producer, DeAno Jackson. We are, of course, here to talk all about the season 6 finale of The Walking Dead, Last Day on Earth. Let's just go ahead and get through the panel real quick. Joining us, of course, as always, our editor-in-chief, Matt Moore. How's it going, Matt?
What up? Hello.
Todd Grundle's back in the house. What's up, Todd? How's it going?
Good enough for now.
Isaiah, how about you, man? How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
All right. And last and most certainly not least, and the person that's going to be leading off this discussion, Lurad. Lurad, how are you, and what did you think of this episode?
I'm doing well. How are you gentlemen doing? And AMC, from the bottom of my heart, you really showed how to fuck people who have been waiting so long for a badass villain to come into play. Take a page from Game of Thrones and even The 100. They don't fucking tease us like this. They give it to us good.
I totally don't agree with you. I thought Lou was going to say nice things.
Yeah, he flipped the script.
Things.
Yeah, it's like I thought he was going in that direction as well because, like, I mean, for this entire second half of the season, it's like it's had a good pace. I've enjoyed the episodes, and I was thinking all this time, I was like, oh man, yeah, it's like they're gonna knock the doors down for the finale. It's like, how are they gonna blow our minds? Oh, look at this, a 90-minute finale. You know what? What I should have been asking, I should have remembered all the other seasons of Walking Dead, and the question that I should have been asking is, how are they gonna fuck this up? Because I should have known it was coming. I should have fucking known. It's like, I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't see it coming.
Really? Wow, I was like, I thought it was coming a mile away because they always suck at their season finals so bad. Like, it was always terrible. And then here's like the grand moment, like, you just fucked up one of the most badass characters of all time. But you know what? Fuck you, writers. You suck at everything. Fuck you.
No.
All right, maybe this is my viewpoint. I kind of take a long view on things like this. But I remember last season finale, and the season finale before that, and the season finale before that, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, the mid-season finales have always been good. The season finales have always been bad. I didn't believe the hype. I didn't fall for the hype, and therefore, when we ended up having an episode where it just built up and built up and built up, and then left us with the cliffhanger, that's what I was expecting, and I got exactly what I was expecting, and therefore it was a good episode for me because it was. I got exactly.
So basically, your argument is I was expecting it to suck, and it sucked, so it was a good episode.
Wow,
no, I got the quality of episode that I expected, and I got the lead up that I expected, and I got the ending that I expected.
Yeah, which is
the only thing they did well was give us Rick's reaction to being scared of shit.
Sucked. And they've always sucked, so this one's going to suck too. That's what you said.
Right. I mean, I want them to prove me wrong, but again, they always keep proving me right. Like, they're going to keep fucking up until someone gets tired of it. Which no one is. They're not going to get tired of it. They're going to keep doing the same thing because no one's going to stop watching it. So, whatever.
The sad thing is like, I mean, an extra 10 seconds added to the end of the show, we wouldn't be having this conversation. This will be a very different and more livelier conversation for me. It's like they expanded the episode from 44 minutes to to fucking 90 or whatever it actually ends up being. But they remove what had to have been the most important part. It's like, why do a cliffhanger like that? I mean, why do that? Why?
Right. And, to be honest, I think I saw more commercials than I saw the show. It's like every single thing, like, oh, commercials. Come on, God damn it. Can I just watch the damn show?
Killing me.
They was, man. That's why
there were 26 minutes of commercials in an hour and a half.
Are you sure with that? I thought it was like an hour long. That was an hour.
I don't know if I'm alone here in this, but I really feel like I'm finally gonna binge next season. I've always thought I'd enjoy the experience more, and I don't feel like they're going to be able to keep the spoiler from me, and they've consistently ruined every major comic book moment thus far.
Yeah.
And I can't justify it anymore. I was the biggest apologist, but I don't know. I need time to process, but as of now, I'm willing to walk away.
Yeah,
I disliked it that much.
They do so many stupid things. Like we had a big about Carol leaving, then and there was that big reveal about Carol and everything else. Like that was pointless. It was nothing involving
That was
shit.
the only redeeming fact of the story because at least we got something out of that. At least we know
stupid, right?
that they met with those certain characters. So I don't know if we're going to jump to that yet, but
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
the kingdom. I mean, we had a nice lead into the kingdom. I think that's what that was. And
yeah, it was
a conclusive story there with Carol and Morgan that was building up all season, and that had conclusion. But the other story they've been building us up for, they put Lucille inside of us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo, we know who died. That cameraman took a serious beating.
Yeah, I can't film next season without a cameraman.
I think one thing. I think one of my friends told me this. Like, if the writers actually chickened out and used Aaron as they killed him off, it's like, wow, he used Aaron for a death scenario. You were some toes. Like, you could have got Abraham or Glenn, mostly Glenn, but you don't use someone who's actually the most irrelevant character of all. I mean, it's not. At least that's what they think. But I can see that happening. They use Aaron be killed off. It's like, oh, thank you for nothing. It's just like Denise.
Aaron is technically where Glenn was in the comic because Maggie's the only person who's in the same spot in the lineup. Everybody else is in a different position. So if you look at it from that angle and you remove Sasha because Negan doesn't kill women, then Aaron would actually be in Glenn's spot based on where the comic book was.
You kill Aaron, I walk away.
We have to walk away because that's
Aaron does not give me any emotional tie. Aaron is just a peon at this point in the show.
Right, and again, it's hard to say before that when you replace someone's death like for someone else, it's like again Denise. Like Denise didn't need to die at all. She was like we can see more good story about Denise, but they cut off by using Abraham's death, who needed to die because he kept fucking up everything else. So it's like when you take away something like so important for that character and distract it on point of someone else, you take away the venom. And so pretty much that cliffhanger took away all that venom that we could get from like the emotional ties. Like it's like, oh no, gonna wait for another year. So fuck you guys.
My thought is Rosita and Eugene are probably safe. Same for Abraham and Sasha are safe because they're a couple and they're a couple that they're going to explore next season. At least that's my thought on it.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Obviously, Rick and Carl are safe. Who's that leave?
Michonne.
Pretty much with Aaron, Glenn, and Daryl.
Daryl, yeah, but come on now, they're not gonna kill Daryl. They don't got the balls.
It's gotta be Aaron. That's all we got. That's really all we got left, unless they're gonna kill a major character or not exploit one of the major storylines.
It could be Eugene. I mean, they did give a hint to that, but
again, no balls. They ain't gonna kill Eugene. They're just gonna kill Aaron because they got no balls.
It would suck if they killed Eugene, but it would have an emotional impact, I think, because he did in his time shine. And he's kind of a fan favorite, actually, right now. Yeah, and he's a funny guy, the actor in real life. He's really funny. So
I'm sorry, Eugene doesn't bring no emotional factor to me. All he has going for him is a fucking mullet. Other than that, he's just a waste of
But he's smart, though. He's smart. Let's build like our own ammunition for our guns. That's really smart. So he has his uses. He's fucking smart.
Well, that's the hint right there. What he gave to Rick is the hint because I mean I don't want to say too much, but that's the hint of why it could possibly be him because that's important as far as the comic stories have gone.
Yeah, but at the same time, for them to do that, they'd be throwing away the him dating Rosita storyline.
Right, a shit ton of storytelling too.
But that could go anywhere.
Yeah, they could replace him in that storyline with Aaron. Wait,
Rosita can go to Tara. Who knows? Maybe she's done with men after.
Let's get Jesus. He got no screen time. Where's Jesus at? Where's Heath at? I haven't seen Heath out all day. I saw that.
That's a very good point. Where the fuck is Jesus?
Jesus at this point in the comic wasn't around. Remember, when they got stopped by Negan, Jesus ain't around because Negan doesn't know that they're dealing with Hilltop yet. So they kept Jesus out, which makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I just miss Jesus.
How the fuck did Negan know to cut all 4 different routes to Hilltop off? Is another story.
Yeah, that is another story.
Yeah, it's like it's like in the show, it's like he's got to know they're dealing with Hilltop. Otherwise, why do that?
Right, and plus
That would have been. Yeah.
I would say the build-up for the Sabres was so. I mean, to me, it was awful because they showed that they were just incompetence or stupid or just. You're not playing like Negan. Like, if you're Negan, you gotta be brutal, you gotta be smart. You can't be dumb as fuck. But when we saw
Their
Negan,
build-up was actually good. Look at it from this point of view.
Now we're getting into why I thought the episode was good. It's because we had a lot of build-up, and the build-up was bullshit. I think we can all agree on that. The build-up was.
I don't.
Well, to be fair, Negan had one of the best soldiers of all time. If you know who I'm talking about. Come on.
Okay. No, we don't know who you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Actor, remember in Grand Theft Auto Phillips, the guy who plays him or voices him, he was so.
Oh, Trevor, he was great. Stephen Oog.
Yeah,
I
was like,
his
shit. What?
He
was one of the cool
I still have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Really?
The mustache. The guy in the gray clothing.
Yeah.
Trevor from Grand Theft Auto, and to me, he was a better villain than Negan because I want to see comeuppance on him because like when he was a nasty fucker. Negan, not so much, and I mean, why? I don't know that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's performance is garbage, but I do know. I don't know that. I'll tell you when I see the uncensored Blu-ray. But I do know that taking out the fuckity fucks definitely ruined things. And that whole line about him not wanting to pick Glenn or Heath because of the race card and he doesn't ever want to look like a racist, that all added to the chillingness of Negan because he had a humor and a sense of realism, and that wasn't there.
Right.
I don't see how that's going to be in the Blu-ray, but
that's actually where I was going with that. Is that we end up when they finally go into that clearing, when the whistling starts, and they finally end up in that clearing, and we see all the motherfuckers who are there, and then we end up getting the reveal for Negan and the whole 9 yards. Yes, it was a disappointment when we didn't see who exactly it was that Negan took out, but that entire scene was fucking amazing to me.
That is true. I agree with Matt. I did like that scene.
It was chilling, dude. Rick sold that scene beautifully.
oh, he did great.
He was scared shitless, like, oh shit, I gotta fuck the wrong person now.
You saw Rick's build up to that scene with each time they got cut off. It started off at what? About 10 at the first stop, went to like 15, then went to 20, and then god damn it, you see this monster of a herd.
No, that's just it. Is you don't quite understand. They've been building up to that scene the entire fucking half of the season. Rick is playing God this entire second half of the season. He's been like, there ain't nothing or no one who can do shit to me or mine. And
that's happening.
He's grown more and more confident as his team ends up becoming stronger. He's now willing to hand out responsibility to other people because he is positive that the zombie fucking world ain't got shit on him and his. And this was his reality check. This was him being slapped the fuck down.
Yeah,
right. And that's what happened in
I
comics
agree
too.
with you. That as a story arc was good, and that's one thing that I really liked on this one. I mean, it's like exactly like you brought up. It's like, I mean, he thought he couldn't get touched. I mean, from accepting this whole assassination contract, just sight unseen is like, oh, I don't care who the fuck Negan is, we can handle it, whatnot. And then having this, like you said, a huge and massive reality check is like, oh fuck, there are things out here that are worse than anything else that I've experienced. Yeah, I'm not ready for this shit.
Right, and plus, because go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but 90 minutes for this bullshit again. Fucking AMC does this shit again. Oh, we're gonna throw you a 90-minute episode, and for what?
Right.
Because we're driving half the episode. Then let's take 5 minutes to walk in the woods, and then I'm gonna give you 10 minutes of a man talking with no payoff.
Well, because you can't fit 26 minutes of commercials in an hour.
Right. You need more commercials,
4 seconds.
They knew everybody would be watching this shit, and they wanted them advertising dollars.
Right.
Really simple.
Right. Even the Fear of the Dead got some play off of that. Like, oh, we got some more previews on the Fear of the Walking Dead. It's like, oh, that kind of looks kind of interesting now because this fucking show's getting boring.
Shit, I got more conclusion in the webisode series of Fear the Walking Dead going into season 2.
Dude,
because we saw the plane in Fear the Walking Dead.
Right. I was like, that was kind of. I have to admit, that was cool. That was cool.
I want to point out that when it comes to the commercials, 26 minutes over an hour and a half period of time is actually pretty par for the fucking course. TV shows that are 22 minutes have 8 minutes of commercials. TV shows that are an hour long are 44 minutes, which is 16 minutes of commercials. A third of your runtime being commercials is actually pretty fucking standard.
But they could have given us 10 more seconds. That's it.
They
What's that?
didn't have to waste 90 minutes.
Yeah, the question wasn't
it was awful.
Of course, it was a matter of like, yeah, it's like we want the episode to be longer so we can have more commercials in there.
Yeah.
Right. But
I wasn't saying it was like overboard. I'm just saying that's why.
Yeah.
Right. But get out down. Go ahead.
I want to be dead honest that out of that scene, I've been waiting for that for a while. And the only thing that brought me any joy was when he touched his face, Negan, and he felt it after looking at Abraham and his clean cut, looking like a comic book, and then he touched his face and he says, I got to do something about this, referring to how he doesn't look like the same character. And that's, to me, that's why I think it's really a failure, because even if they didn't reveal it, I don't know, it didn't hit me. It didn't, I didn't get that excitement of who I was waiting for.
Only issue with Negan on my part was his height was great. I just feel they need to bulk him up a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
No,
Oh yeah, he was. That's just it. Is that actor isn't that fucking skinny normally? I mean,
no, he's fucking huge.
I mean, he wasn't that skinny in fucking Supernatural.
He looks like
Watchmen.
Trailer Park Boys.
He was also better in Watchmen.
Yeah, he was ripped in Watchmen. Why couldn't we get that instead of this little skinny ass?
That's not Negan's build. Negan's build is he's not real fat and he's not real skinny. He's like right there in between, and he's got a little bit of muscles with him. Just give him a little.
I kind of feel like I got a guy who took some time off from The Good Wife. That's what I feel like. I feel like an actor who took off a few minutes from The Good Wife. Like
I had like it was kind of cool. I saw Negan, but also at the same time I said like, don't think he was a comedian. I can still pick him as a comedian because his lines, how he delivers it. It's all like, am I watching a Watchmen movie again? And it's just cool by me because that's one of the people I actually liked in the movie because his acting was just so damn great next to Jackie Earl Haley, and so it was like, damn, I'm watching a good comedian. Oh, it's Negan. Oh, awesome for me then. So, you know.
So we're not all in agreement that he played one hell of a Negan, Todd?
I think he did.
Not I feel like I need to process. I don't know. Maybe this is expectation versus reality. Maybe he's better than the Governor interpretation. I don't know yet.
Better than
better than the Governor. The Governor looked Mexican.
The Governor should have been Danny Trejo. That's it. He should have been Danny Trejo.
I would agree with that too. He should have been him.
Well, for me, it's like he just hasn't had enough screen time for me to really form an opinion.
That's what I'm hoping. That's why I'm not. I just know I feel like shit. I'm angry. I feel violated, and I don't like what I saw. But I still can't. I can't really. I don't want to judge. Maybe because I like the character so much, and I'm holding hope that when he does shave next season and takes more than a fucking weekend off of The Good Wife, that maybe we'll have a really good Negan in the store. Maybe.
Right, but that whole scene with us seeing Negan, I still liked it a lot because Negan was pretty much he was actually being like calm and like not being like overly rambunctious like other like villains in the Walking Dead. He was like pretty much calm and telling, yeah, this is the rules out here. You don't know shit. I pretty much know a lot of shit more than you, and you fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you back. And plus, you're gonna work for me now, bitch.
See, that whole delivery would have been better if AMC would have held to their promise and gave us the uncensored version. But they decided to cop out and be bitches and give us that watered down shit. Because Negan needs his F-bombs.
Yeah, he kind of does, because he's Negan, for God's sakes. He is Negan. We know him because he's a filthy mouth, but he's very smart, though.
At least give him charm. I mean, he felt like Mel Gibson in the Lethal Weapon movie.
he had charm. He was actually charismatic.
He
More
didn't.
interesting than all the characters put together.
He had
didn't
teeth.
have no
He had
charm.
big fucking teeth. That's all I saw. Smile.
Damn, that's
Well, to his defense, Todd, you're watching it on a 100-inch screen, so everything is bigger.
It's only
to be
95
fair-
inches.
Well, excuse me.
I mean,
You said correct it, Lou. Lou.
I mean,
Oh.
the reason why I like this Negan scene is because due to again Trevor Phillips, because he was pretty much that guy who pretty much egged on the hero so much. He was very threatening. It's like, man, this dude is fucking crazy. Then again, he is Trevor. And so when we got to Negan, I felt complete because I saw this great character and now this great character. It's
Look.
like, oh, cool by me.
Here's what that final 15 minutes did for me. Trevor, I want someone to put a bullet between that fucker's eyes because he was more impactful than Negan. I don't like him. Negan
No, I
fucked
agree, but
around
in a
with
good way.
White. So we already know that dynamic there, someone's getting burnt to the face again.
Oh no, because
That
that's
part-
some bullshit. They fucked it up.
White-
They fucked it up.
White next season's going to get picked on. And then you got Negan being, in your favorite words, somewhat a puss cake. He didn't carry much weight as far as fear. And when you read his dialogue on the pages, he struck fear when you were reading it.
Well, yeah, because
They
also
cheated us. Once
Well,
again.
Well, go back to Mac's point where Rick thought he was everything, because that's what happened in the comic as well. Rick thought he was untouchable until he very much met Negan. And that all played out was actually kind of cool. Here in the show, it was kind of like, it was kind of stupid. Like, okay, we're going to bring Maggie with us, knowing the fact the Saviors are out there and they kill us. But it's okay, let's just bring Maggie with us.
Smart, though,
That's kinda
because they were
funny.
getting cut off at every turn. See, what they didn't realize that Negan prepared for that, too.
Yeah, he wasn't dumb like his lackeys was. He was smart. Like, oh, you must be Rick, right? You killed all my guys and everything.
I'll be honest. Every episode of Better Call Saul has been better than any episode of The Walking Dead this season.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
not any episode, but
yeah.
90% of them, I'd say.
So far, the 8
100%
episodes that have
my
aired for Season 2 of Better Call Saul have left me wanting more. I want to binge this shit, and I can't.
Same here.
Walking Dead didn't give me that impression.
Right.
Especially with this ending.
Because I think
It got me to the point where I really don't want to come back.
Lou, you
Right.
are completely changing your tune because earlier in the season, the second half of the season, you were singing Walking Dead's praises just like the rest of us.
Yeah, but then you give us an ending like this,
now,
and you kill that
now
vibe.
you're saying the opposite. And I understand why. But earlier in the second half of the season, you were loving it just as much as the rest of us.
And I will not deny that. But when you cop out and give me this bullshit ending, which wasn't needed, you could have killed whoever you wanted to kill,
right.
end it, and pick up Season 7 right from that point with Rick's face more dumbfounded and broken than what he was.
Right. And plus, we can see the
And
reaction.
audience would go. They would spend 7 months hating Negan, building a hate for him.
Right. And plus, the one thing they actually destroyed, that one key moment of that death by Negan, was seeing the reactions of Rick and his friends, seeing that reaction of what happened to their friend. They have nothing they can do about it. They have to pretty much watch it in horror. And it kind of killed that moment. Like, we should have saw their faces. We should have saw that horror in their faces. But they kind of like, fuck you guys. And also, if they come back with a time skip, it'd be like real fucked up too. Like, you could get a time skip on that shit, and you're not gonna tell us what happened? Man, fuck you.
Oh, I think it's going to be worse. I don't think we're going to know who Negan got even in the first episode.
Oh,
No, it's
don't say that. Please don't say that.
No, I
don't.
I think that there's going to be a flashback.
They say they're picking up right where it left off. That's what I've read.
They
That's what I
lied
think.
to us who before?
Yes,
Lied
they
to us
have.
multiple times.
Andrew Lincoln
So-
said the opening of this episode was going to be the most intense thing that they've ever done, and I don't know what was intense about that opening. And in fact, there's another failure what they ended last week with the Daryl cliffhanger, and then they don't even address that in the slightest until they finally reveal that he was those dots of light, seeing him from inside of a cage. Oh, okay, yeah, cool, but is that enough for? I mean, you just splattered him across the screen, and then.
Well, remember back to last week when he said, Dwight says you'll be all right?
Yeah.
They added that audio for that particular spot because they didn't want the recourse of what happened with Glenn earlier in the season.
Right. And plus, like DeAno said, I mean, I can't remember what you said beforehand. Oh, shit. I don't remember that.
While you're thinking, this is what happens when AMC writers don't know who they want to kill off, so they give us the cameraman death.
Oh, yeah. It was a pain in the ass, really.
I mean, just take a pick. Do you want to kill the redhead ginger man, or do you want to kill the long-haired biker?
I mean,
or kill off Glenn.
Lou and I were arguing about this in a private chat. I maintain that AMC knows who they were going to kill. There's no way. Look, the actor, if they're not going to be working, they need to be booking now for that time. So they would know who.
The only reason he's on the show now.
His show comes on in June, which means that he could have filmed in between his scenes that weren't filming, or he could have filmed it when they wrapped earlier in the year or earlier last year. I mean, they go back to work in like 25 days.
It could be the exit plan people are saying to sort of placate the fans or whatever the word is. But if that's the case and they did kill Daryl, the way they did that was ridiculous, pulling him out and giving him no. That means if you look at his death as a whole at that point, it's garbage. They just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And again, the writers cannot take everything from the comic because everyone's gonna know it all, and plus the comic book is very, very dark. But it's the same notion. The only thing it's very dark. It told you pretty much complete stories at times. And so when you pretty much you cherry pick some of the storytelling without going full all the way through with it, you're kind of like fuck the book and fuck the show and fuck everything else because we're gonna half-ass job of everything else. Like Lou said, the ending sucks so much and funny.
Hey Todd, remember when we discussed that they might be giving Carol Michonne's storyline as far as the depression and all this?
Yeah.
Oh,
now
shit.
let's go back to when she was talking about committing suicide in the comic. They might be now revisiting that storyline with her instead.
Oh God, really?
But I have thoughts as to where that could lead. Nobody's going to agree with me, but I really think they're playing a different game with Carol.
Yeah, because Carol was so. I didn't like this Carol at all because remember I love that Carol back in Terminus when she was just straight up just killing motherfuckers like back and forth. She was like favorite characters, and you make her weak as fuck. It's like, oh my God, really? That's what this dude is like. Shoot her, kill her already. Stop being a pussy and just kill her. But no, he like dragging it out. He's gonna drag it out. Oh my fucking God.
Hey, that was a loyal ass horse that would just stay there without having to be tied up to anything.
The horse is the best actor in the whole fucking show. Like that horse right there, he should get an Academy Award or something because that was good acting right there.
Or the horse was just fucking tired.
You know who had the best acting of this episode? Was the Hangman Walker.
You know something?
Yeah.
I think by talking about the acting in the episode, you actually might have narrowed everything down a great deal. Think about the acting in this episode. Who didn't act? Michonne didn't act. So if they kill Michonne, that's kind of fucking lame. Daryl didn't act. They killed Daryl. Kind of fucking lame. Glenn didn't act. Who else didn't act? I mean, if you look at the big picture of it.
Well, Andrew Lincoln was trying. You can't blame the guy for trying.
All right, earlier in the episode, we were talking about how Rick, sold that entire scene. And now you're saying he didn't act?
I think Rick acted, but I don't think Rick's dead.
Well, we know Rick's not going to be the one that's dying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, we need Rick. We need Rick for the whole damn show.
Isaiah's earlier comment was correct. Rick acted the hell out of that scene or whatever he said. Someone said it.
Well, So the acting
It was indeed sad.
Acting at the end was great.
His build-up, Rick's build-up this whole episode to that final scene, watching Negan, like, seriously just terrorize the piss out of all of them, his expressions were awesome. It kind of felt like it came right off the page.
Right. And what's up with that
Everything
stalker?
else was somewhat mediocre.
Yeah.
The
I
stalker
gotta
was
agree.
creepy.
Abraham, he kind of takes himself out of it because he stands up to Negan like, if you're going to hit me, hit me.
Right, right.
But that does
That's what I'm talking
coincide with what Negan says after he hits him. He says, "Oh, taking it like a champ still." But I don't think it's Abraham.
though.
I think he respects Abraham. I think he saw that clean face, and he's like, "This is a workhorse. This. He wants workers. Abraham is a workhorse."
Also, matter of fact, yeah.
Right.
That's how Negan works. He wants someone.
Right.
Yeah, Negan wants someone he can work with, and also who is actually can help him more. So keeping Abraham alive is good for him. Also keeping Daryl alive, that's also good for him because they're going to be working for him. It's like, who can I kill that is not going to be helpful to me?
Although Daryl's shot and is going to be requiring medicine, so from a
But he's still bad at it, though. He's still dangerous.
I think the only three options are Abraham, Aaron, and Eugene because they're the only ones who have gotten screen time this episode, really, besides Carl and Rick. And they've been getting story all season. They've been getting the most story out of everyone. Like, Daryl's just been on his bike a lot.
Like I said, you kill Aaron or Eugene, that's just a cop-out.
Now, I don't think they're actually going to kill Daryl, but for every reason that was said that they might as well kill Carol, they should kill Daryl. Daryl has not been an important character in, 2 seasons?
Yeah, I'm roundabout.
And then give or take, yeah.
They have not given him crap all to do in forever. And I like the character. I love the actor. Just the writers haven't given him dick. And therefore he's been a useless character for a couple of seasons now. So if
that's a sad thing, though.
If they kill him off, then who cares? He's useless.
I don't think he's useless, but I think his story is complete, and I think he'd have the best impact because he's the #1 fan favorite. So I really did hope it was him, but not this way. I think if it is him, now that's ruined.
Right. Plus, what happened to Daryl looking out and getting more people to join their community? What happened to that storyline?
That was a season and a half ago. They have not. That's just it. Is they kind of hinted around that, but he basically went, no, that's not something I want to do anymore.
Which is bullshit. That's bullshit, man.
I said it was bullshit many episodes ago. I'm not saying I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying you're agreeing with me.
Maybe it's just been a backdoor pilot for Ride with Norman Reedus.
We can.
It's just weird, though. It's just really, really weird. We have so much build up for this big character, and then waste a shit ton of time on bullshit filler, bullshit, whatever the hell is happening, and you get to the final ending, and then oh yes, we're not going to show you who got killed because we're writers like that.
See, when you say bullshit filler, that's where I have an issue. I'm still confused because I don't really feel like any of it is bullshit filler. I feel like they do so much good on the show, but I also feel like every major moment they fail. They fail every single one consecutively. So I don't know. Does that mean that they're telling a different story and I should enjoy it for what it is, or does that just mean, are you right? Is it filler and I'm just being suckered by the filler?
The only way I say that Carol and Morgan was terrible because it was kind of rushed. It was it should have been complete. It should have been a long, complete episode. It felt rushed because it was built to the Negan scene. That was felt kind of unfair for the two actors, right? That's unfair because I know they're good actors. I know they're really good actors. So you pretty much just squandered that kind of talent on a very bullshit.
I didn't feel rushed in any of their scenes. I feel like they always do a great job in the acting and the delivery and the direction, and I feel like this season was even filled with some of the greatest choices they've made stylistically and storytelling-wise. It's just these major moments that fail. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I read both or what. I don't know.
Todd, what they want us to do, Todd, is lower our expectations for the major moments that happen in the comic, because we're not going to get them the exact same way on the show, because the show will let you
But
down.
if they can deliver any of the moments that they delivered, the show would be phenomenal, because everything else they do better. Like their journey, I think, is better. But whenever they get to these destinations, it's always a fucking an anticlimax.
Then
Yeah.
that is a case of expectation versus reality. Is if they're doing everything that you're not waiting for, great, but the things you're waiting for, then that is your expectation.
But even to an extent, knowing that expectation exists, shouldn't they still have a responsibility to the initial fans of the series or the people who read both? Because it's two properties they're selling at once. So shouldn't they kind of appease both at least?
But look at it from this perspective. Half of those 14 million viewers don't read the books.
Right, they don't.
So,
And even they're
For
pissed
them-
off. What's your point?
But most of them agree too. I mean, I'm reading
Yeah.
tons of hate. Everybody seems to not like it. This
Yeah,
choice.
it's not just fans of the comic book that are calling bullshit on this.
Yeah.
oh no, everyone's
It's-
calling because no one wanted a fucking cliffhanger.
It's just
Well,
nobody knew
well,
better
because
with
it
the
was a stupid
governor in the
fucking
prison.
ending.
But
There was no real reason to do a cliffhanger. None.
It was not at all.
you know what's funny? You know how we say media hypes up a lot of shit? In this case, comic book media hyped up Negan, and AMC failed to deliver. Because they hyped him up so
Unfortunately, yes.
big, and we were expecting, oh, this is the point where we get that issue 100 ending, and we don't. We get issue 100 with no conclusion.
With
And now
a
the public
couple of missing
is-
panels.
Well, Louis has a really good point there, because since we know Negan because we met the comic book with Negan, and he's one of our favorite characters. He's pretty much like, yeah, I'm fucking crazy, but I don't give a fuck. So he's so popular, and that build up over time, it kind of made his character even more weaker on the show, because our expectations it was too high for his character. And so now we look at it now like, damn, that's kind of fucked up.
Dude,
Yeah.
The role should have went to Garrett Dillahunt, the guy who played the guy who shot Buffalo Bill, and he also played Francis Walcott in Deadwood. It should have went to him. I really think that he would have been freaking awesome as Negan. He campaigned for it, but it didn't work.
I would say the Mad Men guy was gonna be cool. The Mad Men, sorry.
John Harmon.
John
whatever his
Hamm,
name is.
he was another good choice. I would have been happier with him.
Yeah,
Really?
I would say, yeah, he was really good. Yeah,
I actually think this guy did a really good job. I was
On
I think he did
Stamos.
too.
Imagine John Stamos as Negan. And
I
that
don't
would
want to imagine John
the
Stamos.
world in the dick right there. It would
No.
blow everybody's brains out.
That would be kind of funny. That would be really cool and funny. Like John Stamos trying to be all hardcore and everything.
Well, imagine he did.
There's a funny or die skit there somewhere.
But that's who Negan is. Negan is kind of Uncle Jesse from Full House with a potty mouth. I mean, he
Well,
is cool as fuck. He's
and a lot fatter and taller.
sure, but at least I think that would have been a better choice. They both
John
have, he has the
Stamos
same build
literally
as
walking around
Blue guy.
wearing some, like 8-inch heels.
Oh God.
All right, so does anyone else have anything else to say about this episode before we wrap things up?
More Trevor Phillips.
All right, fair enough. So, yep, that is it for The Walking Dead Season 6 discussion vidcasts. We will, of course, be back next year. It's like we might do some things in the format. We're going to change a bunch of stuff. But next up, coming up soon, Winter is coming. Game of Thrones is right around the corner, and we'll be with you every single step of the way on geeksaround.com. And don't forget to follow some of our social media channels, Google+, YouTube, Facebook, all that. We are Geeks Around on all of that. If you have anything for us, don't hesitate to call and leave us a message on our voicemail line. That number is 801-609-GOTR. Again, that is 801-609-4687. Until next time, we are Ghosts.
More better.